Well, hello there. Earlier this morning, I was doing some. You may have noticed I'm in a change of venue. I don't want to talk about it, but the guitar studio has reverted back to our spare room. Therefore, I'm sharing guitar studio privileges with my son's playroom privileges. So I kind of have to book the room. So it is what it is. This morning, I was playing a bit outside. It's funny, I always joke that a guitar is like an old used Buick, right? It's a bit of maintenance. So I went outside. I was going to do this outside. Nice, cool morning. First thing I noticed is when I pulled my guitar out, I have a humidifier manager inside my guitar case. It's just a little tube with water in it that breathes and lets humidity into your guitar so your guitar doesn't dry out. Because you got to remember that a guitar is a piece of wood. It's a living, breathing thing. It's a chunk of wood, like a tree in the forest, right? And if it dries out, they can split and crack. Also, if they get too moist and damp, they can swell and things like that. If you've ever seen a hardwood floor in a really moist, damp, rainy day, they will swell so bad that they'll heave, right? And that's how, if you ever laid hardwood floor, you got to be careful how you do it. Just like on a cold day, it'll contract, and you can have big gaps. The guitar is no different. So I pulled my guitar out, and it's all damp on the front. And again, it's the combination of the moisture and the rainy, humid, muggy day, and the felt inside the guitar case trapped the moisture in there. So I kind of wiped it off, and I got through that. Well, I went to tune my guitar, and it's a cool day. I had to tune down my guitar really, really bad because it's colder than when I played it last. The strings are metal, they'll contract, so everything was I had to tune it down. So I sat down to play, and it was very funny. As I'm playing, the sun came out, and all of a sudden the heat and the moisture, humidity kind of hit me a little bit. And wouldn't you know it, my guitar starts sounding terrible. As the temperature rises, all of a sudden, my strings start to slack off. And then I'm going down again, so I had to retune. It's like every 20 minutes I had to retune my guitar. And then I was about to get rained out. So the clouds came over, and all of a sudden I broke out in a sweat. It's like you could feel the humidity in the air and the kind of heat. And the guitar started to sound wonky again. And because it looked like it was about to rain, I moved down here. So as the whole thing breathes and the strings contract, and boy, I had to keep retuning my guitar. About every 20 minutes, I'm like, as I'm playing, a cloud would come over and it would start to feel like rain, and all of a sudden my guitar would go wonky. So now I'm downstairs and I'm in a bit more of a controlled environment. It kept popping into my head. If you've ever been to the drag races at a racetrack, and same thing, the cars will race all day, and it starts off cool, and you'll get a hot afternoon, and then about 3 o'clock maybe it pours rain for a minute, and then afterwards the sun comes out again. Guys trying to tune cars will be the same way. It's the same concept of, I overheard some guys at my work talking about snowmobiles in the mountains, okay, going up into the mountains, and all of a sudden their engine has no power. Because that little change in pressure, the oxygen is different, the mix is different, the engines will get starved, and guys will say, they put turbochargers on their sleds so that in the mountains they get a rush of power, things like that. And a guitar is no different, especially a semi-hollow body guitar. It's hollow in there. The plate is down the center, the sides are hollow. As the wood swells and contracts, and the strings, it makes it difficult to keep this guitar in tune. And I just thought that's an interesting thing to talk about. Again, I think I'm in tune now, and I'm going to try some songs. And I think I'm doing okay, so I'm going to pause. We'll see if we can get some music happening here finally today. It's been at it for a couple hours, and I'll see if there's anything usable from this morning. I'll post them, and maybe you can see what's going on with me outside on my deck outside. But again, it sure feels like rain, so I kind of hustled everything in, and we'll do it this way. Anyways, have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.